Major League debut for Brian Flynn, big lefty, for the Fish today, and Jeff Samardzija trying to get back on the beam for the Cubs.
Let's talk about this division. A couple of big games last night, and the Pirates will not have a losing season for the first time since 1992. Travis Snyder coming off the bench with a game-winning home run in the top of the ninth, win number 81 for the Pirates. They have bigger fish to fry, but step at a time, I suppose.
Yeah, and they just got Jason Grilli off the disabled list to help fortify that back end of the bullpen. Mark Melanson has done an outstanding job. Big handshakes all the way around for clinching that winning, or at least non-losing season. But as Len mentioned, bigger plans for the Pirates. And how about Billy Hamilton, the minor league speedster called up by the Reds to provide a little spark off the bench? He did just that. Pinch running for Ryan Ludwig, steals at second base and ultimately scores the game-winning run in a 1-0 win over the Cardinals. Things tightening up in the NL Central.
Yeah, the Pirates now with a 2-game lead over the Cardinals. There's the game-winning RBI in that 1-0 Reds victory. The Reds are just a game and a half behind the Cardinals now for second place in the division, and all three teams in very good shape to make the playoffs. We alluded to it last night, but we're going to start talking about some award contenders. We'll start with the Manager of the Year candidates. We'll begin in the National League and probably the top 4 guys on the list.
Yeah, and I suspect Clint Hurdle's going to win this award because of the long losing run that they've had in Pittsburgh. Hurdle, if he doesn't get Manager of the Year, he'll at least get Mayor of Pittsburgh. He's done such a nice job. But I really like the job Freddie Gonzalez has done down in Atlanta. Washington expected to win that division. Freddie Gonzalez has had to deal with a lot of injuries to his bullpen. B.J. Upton really hasn't provided much offense. Tim Hudson went down. Through it all, the Braves continue to win.
Over in the American League, it's a pretty long list, and we should probably also mention Jim Leland as well. The Tigers 81 and 58. But as we said last night, you seem to get penalized the more talent you have.
Yeah, but you have to throw Joe Girardi on this list because of the injury issues and all the turmoil with A-Rod in New York. Ron Washington's done a real nice job. You know, they lost Josh Hamilton, but they continue to forge ahead. And how about John Farrell? The Red Sox last year had their worst year since 1965, finished dead last. They got a great start this year, and they're in a pretty comfortable position atop the AL East.
Well, the Cubs today try to salvage the finale. They'll have their number 1 starter, Jeff Samardzija, on the mound. Again, Brian Flynn, the tall left-hander, making his debut for the Marlins. And we've got a lot of Cubs news to delve into with our Cubs insider, Patrick Mooney, right after the break here on Comcast Sportsnet. Nationwide insurance agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side, and a lot of news here today. The Cubs roster continuing to change. The latest, Daniel Bard, the right-handed reliever from the Boston Red Sox, recently designated for assignment, has been claimed by the Cubs. Not a big surprise.
Yeah, you look at this front office, they love these guys that they know their kind of background. He's got first-round pedigree out of UNC, those drafts run by Theo and Jason McLeod, and he was a dominant setup guy in the American League East for some contending Red Sox teams, and I think you'll see another change of scenery, get him up here working with pitching coach Chris Bosio, and see if they can rediscover what made him, one of the best in the game not that long ago.
Cole Gillespie, you saw designated for assignment by the Cubs. He was in the original starting lineup. Also, right-hander Michael Bowden, who dealt a scoreless ninth last night, was packing up his things. He was designated for assignment to make room for right-hander Chang Yong Lim. Now, interesting guy, 37 years old, a basically 17-year career in Korea and Japan, 2 Tommy John surgeries, and here he is.
Yeah, it said this is kind of the last frontier for him to prove himself in. He's been in the Olympics, he's been in the World Baseball Classic, and people. We asked him today, what do you know about the Cubs before you signed here? And it was tough for him to stifle the grin. He just said, "Well, obviously the curse," and he said maybe we can change that. But another interesting bullpen arm for Dale to get a look at here, and along with Bard and some of these other guys heading into Mesa next year.
I know you talked to the Cubs farm director, Brandon Hyde, for a story. Check it out at csnchicago.com. The Cubs with 3 playoff teams in the minor leagues, and both wins, Boise and Daytona yesterday. Tennessee will start up tomorrow, game 1 at Birmingham, but he managed Stanton and Morrison at Double-A in the Marlins organization.
Yeah, he goes way back with those guys. I think they beat a Cubs affiliate that had Starlin and Wellington Castillo, Andrew Kashner, and I think that's kind of what this front office has done, trying to borrow ideas from whether it's Vanderbilt University with Derek Johnson, who they picked up, a guy who worked with David Price, or the Marlins for all their troubles at times at an ownership level, front office level. Certainly they know how to develop young guys and stars like he was Mike Stan back then, but we get to see Giancarlo here today.
Last thing, Dale was asked today about Pedro Strop, and he said he wouldn't mind getting Strop maybe a save chance or 2 down the stretch just as they look ahead to next year.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shift. We had been asking that basically leading up to the July 31st trade deadline, thinking Kevin Gregg would be on the move somewhere else, and certainly he's another guy that Dale said you don't really make decisions based off September. There's so much that could happen between now and next year, but certainly to get a look at him and some of these other guys could be helpful.
All right, Patrick, as always, thanks for the time. And our pitching matchup today, it'll be Jeff Samardzija for the Cubs, leading the team in strikeouts. This will be his career-high 29 start. Brian Flynn, the left-hander, making his big league debut. Cubs hosting the Fish, coming up next. big part of this final month of September is the focus on the younger players and getting back to the basics. This Cubs staff always in a teaching mode, and we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Gorgeous day at the ballpark. It's a matinee today, and the Cubs try to avoid the 3-game sweep as they host the Miami Marlins. Great to have you with us, along with the man in the lime green shirt, Jim DeShays. I like it.
Undefeated.
I'm Len Casper. Oh, really?
Want to know?
Okay, I like it. Christian Yelich, you may not have heard of him, but the first 2 games of this series, he's been the best offensive performer.
Yeah, the best story for the Marlins has been their pitching in the second half of the season. They've been very, very competitive. Runs have been hard to come by, but this young hitter is the real deal. Just 21 years of age, 6 hits in the series in 9 at-bats, a double, a home run, and some singles, but stays inside the ball very well. Pulled the breaking ball from Travis Wood for a home run, showed pretty good power the other way. The Marlins have some intriguing young pitchers, and now they add a guy like Yelich to the mix, and maybe better days ahead for the Fish.
For the Cubs today, it'll be Jeff Samardzija closing in on 200 innings. Still a couple of starts away from that, but start number 29 on the year.
Yeah, boy, he was rolling along so well last time out against the Philadelphia Phillies before he kind of ran into a speed bump in the middle of that ball game. Overall, though, over his last 3 starts, the number's very good. 2-0 with a 3.04. You'll remember a dominant performance here against Washington. Another one against the Padres on the road trip. And again, just a little bump in the road, that one bad inning last time out against the Phils.
Only 24 games to go, including just 10 here at Wrigley Field, including today. Let's throw it down to the field now for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps and join Griffin House as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job by Griffin House with our national anthem. Gorgeous day here on the north side. Settle in. We're getting set for the Cubs hosting the Miami Marlins next.
Certified, your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back. Beautiful shots of downtown Chicago and Wrigley Field. Marlins and Cubs wrapping up a 3-game set. The Cubs are 2-3 on this 9-game homestand. Off day tomorrow. The Brewers come in for the weekend starting on Friday. Jeff Samardzija again taking the ball for the Cubs today. And let's check out our Xfinity high-speed action. Jeff's 17 innings away from the 200-inning marker. Pretty decent chance here, JD. The Cubs will have a couple of guys get to that point. Travis Wood and Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah, both on pace to accomplish that. And Samardzija, when at his best, is able to elevate that fastball. Last time out, early on, real good split finger pitch. This is his first start against the Fish this year. He didn't face him in that 4-game set at Marlins Park early in the year. Twice against them last season. 5 innings of 1-run ball here in July. So, again, last time out, off to a great start. Just a couple of base runners through 5 innings, and the Phillies ambushed him in the 6th. Needs to turn the page on that. Yeah, I don't know that 200 innings is any more meaningful than 190 innings, but it's one of those kind of magic numbers guys point to.
Available in the Cubs bullpen today will be a right-hander named Chang Yong Lim, 37 years old, 17 years in Korea and Japan. Cubs signed him last year, coming off his second Tommy John surgery. So he's on the roster. Michael Bowden designated for assignment. And the Cubs also claimed right-hander Daniel Bard off waivers from the Boston Red Sox. Cole Gillespie designated for assignment. He was in the original starting lineup. Let's check in on the Marlins Southwest starting lineup that will face Jeff Samardzija. Major League low 444 runs, but they've won the first 2 games of this series. Coghlan gets his 2nd straight start at third. Solano, 3 big hits last night. We mentioned Yelich in the open. Stanton, the right fielder. Ruggiano's in center. Logan Morrison again at first. Adeiny Echeverria is the shortstop. Former Cub Coy Hill will catch. He's a switch hitter. And Flynn at the bottom making his big league debut.
Cubs defensively, a late change with Gillespie being designated for assignment. He was in the original starting lineup. Sweeney will take the start. He'll play center field. Lakes in left. McDonald moves from left to right. Murphy, Castro, Barney, Rizzo on the infield. Leonard Navarro behind the plate today for our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. And it is Jeff Samardzija, 28 years of age, 28 starts. He's 8-11 with a 4.13 earned run average.
Here are your umpires. Ed Hickox will work the plate. Jim Joyce, the crew chiefs, at first. Jeff Nelson at second. Jim Wolf is over at third. Ed Hickox has had an interesting career and life. He worked the plate for Matt Garza's no-hitter in 2010. Same for Homer Bailey in 2012. So he's one of 5 active umpires who've been behind the plate for at least 2 no-hitters. Also was at first base for Jared Weaver's no-hitter last year. Was at second base for the Clay Buchholz no-no in 07. And was at third base when Jim Abbott did it in 1993. So he's hit for the no-hitter cycle as an umpire.
Wonder if he has a low umpire's ERA. See if he has a big zone.
Coghlan will lead it off. Made a big play defensively on Anthony Rizzo last night to save a run in his third base debut at the big league level. 1 for 5 at the plate. Murphy in on the grass at third, and we're underway. It's a strike, well located. on that outside corner.
A lot of different ways to define an ace. One of them is a guy who pitches a shutdown game when you need one, and the Cubs really need one. In jeopardy of being swept here by the Marlins in their home ballpark.
There are a couple of definitions of the term stopper in baseball. Sometimes closers are called stoppers. You stop a rally. I think the better definition is you stop a losing streak.
Yeah, that's the original definition of a stopper, was a starting pitcher who did just what I mentioned, comes out and just throws a shutdown game when his team is struggling. Says, okay, boys, jump on my shoulders and I'll take care of you here this afternoon.
Two and two on Coughlin. Upper 70s. Not much of a wind. It is coming out of the northwest at 5. It's pulled just foul.
Coughlin, line drive type hitter, doesn't hit for power.
And a ground ball to Darwin Barney. Goes 4-3 for the out. Now the second baseman Solano. 3 hits, 2 doubles, 2 knocked in game 2. High for ball 1.
His 2-run double in the 8th pretty much sealed the deal last night.
Dangerous Christian Yelich on deck. Big swing and a miss. Good fastball at 93. 2-1. Samardzija from Valparaiso, Indiana. Three and 1. From a 2-sport star at Notre Dame. All-American wide receiver. Pitched for the Irish. It was all Big East on the baseball team. Ground ball, Castro ranging to his glove side, and that's the second out.
You think of Samardzija, you think of a strikeout pitcher. Those 2 starts that led to his winning the Player of the Week award against Washington and San Diego. He was very efficient. Struck out 12 combined in those 2 games in 17 innings. Got a lot of early contact. Through 105 innings in the complete game win over Washington and 106 pitches in the 8-inning effort against the Padres.
Swing and a miss on a cutter. Yelich 6 for 9 in the series. He's picked up 11 hits over his last 5 games.
11 out of 23. Bunch of multi-hit games. He wears his age on his back.
Number 21. Called strike 3. It's a good start for Jeff Samardzija. 1, 2, 3. Didn't hit a ball out of the infield. Brian Flynn, the left-hander, against the Cubs offense when we come back. Will face a left-hander making his big league debut, Brian Flynn. Let's check out their Southwest starting lineup. Double play combo at the top. Castro and Barney. Rizzo, Navarro 3 and 4. Donnie Murphy, the former Marlin, at third. Junior Lake gets the nod in left. Darnell McDonald over in right. Ryan Sweeney, a late insertion after Cole Gillespie was cut. And Samardzija, the pitcher.
Defense for the Fish. Yelich is the left fielder. Ruggiano center. Big arm on Giancarlo Stanton out there in right. Coughlin, his second major league start at third base. Number 1 came last night. Echevarria, very good feet at short. Solano, Morrison on the right side. Coy Hill, the veteran for the young left-hander. Alexis starting pitcher for the Marlins. Brian Flynn, 6-11 at AAA New Orleans, but a PCL leading 2.80 earned run average.
Yeah, forget the win-loss record. ERA terrific in a hitter's league. That's his first major league pitch. Fastball missing outside on Castro. He's 6'7", 239.
Big dude.
Castro chops to third. Knocked down, and Castro's safe. Coughlin kind of played that into a bad hop. It'll be an error.
He handled himself well at third base last night, although he did not look natural at third base. Had a long way to go here and just didn't get that glove out in front and handle that in between hop.
Well, I will tell you one thing. I don't know if Chris Coughlin will become a good third baseman, but he's working with one of the best infield instructors around, Perry Hill, who is also the Marlins first base coach. Darwin Barney takes ball 1.
Yeah, Perry's he's an infield guru. Flynn out there obviously battling some nerves. Very pumped up to be making his debut here at Wrigley Field. A big baseball fan. So he gets it, the whole aura of Wrigley.
From Owasso, Oklahoma. Thinking a lot about his dad before this start. His father, David, died in a car accident when Brian was 8. Remembers playing ball with his pop in the backyard. Credits his mom for finding the right coaching for him as he got older. His mom is here.
He's nowhere near as nervous as she is.
Coughlin gets another opportunity. And going to turn 2. Boy, it's been a tough series for Darwin Barney. At the plate, he hits into a 5-4-3 double play.
Yeah, bounced into 2 double plays in the opener of this series. He hits this ball hard. Coughlin up to the task that time. So Flynn, he's a big guy. He's not overpowering. He's not going to be rushing it up there 95, 96 miles an hour. He uses his leverage to keep the ball down with a little sink. It's primarily fastball, slider, maybe a little curveball and change on occasion. 7th round pick of the Tigers in 2011 out of Wichita State. So this is his 3rd year in pro ball.
Came over in the Anibal Sanchez Omar Infante deal July of last year. 1-1 to Rizzo. 34 doubles. Puts him in the top 4 in the National League. And a scoreless first inning for the young left-hander Brian Flynn. 0-0 after 1. Swing for the fences with a new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Choose one of 32 Home Run Derby competitors, including everyone from the 2013 Derby. Available on iPhone and iPad and select Android devices. Download MLB.com's Home Run Derby game for free today. Giancarlo Stanton, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is 0 for 7 lifetime against Samardzija. Be a tough play for Murphy. Long throw, safe.
Big man moves well, a little tentative as he approached the bag. He tweaked his ankle the other day in a play going down the line where he stepped on the back of the base and had his ankle roll over a little bit. Long throw for Murphy, an infield hit for Stanton.
As he was standing at the plate, I could just picture Samardzija as the wide receiver coming over the middle and Stanton, the linebacker, lining him up.
Trying to put his helmet in his chest.
Called strike. Justin Ruggiano, who earlier this year had an 0 for 42 stretch. He got to within 3 hitless at bats of tying the major league record for a non-pitcher. That'll wallop your batting average.
Cause you to lose sleep too. Who's got that record?
I think Craig Counsell.
Craig was making a run at
maybe
it.
Sue Campbell got close. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Samardzija. It's the first out here in inning number 2.
That elevated fastball. 92 on the gun, but good enough.
Logan Morrison sends a towering fly ball over the bleachers for a 2-run homer, and it's 2-0 Miami. Not that it matters. The wind has shifted. It is now blowing straight out. Started out of the northwest, kind of a cross breeze, but that would have been a home run probably in any sort of weather conditions.
When we talk about don't throw him a cookie, this is what we're talking about. That was right over the happy zone. Ford home run replay. A belt-high fastball. Morrison jumped all over it. It's percentage play. Samardzija very aggressive quite often with that first pitch fastball, and it pays off for him. He gets the jump on hitters. They're hitting in the low 100s against him, but he does give up a lot of damage on that 0-0 offering because of his aggressiveness.
One to Echeverria is fouled away. That one served out into right for a base hit in front of McDonald. Comes a former battery mate of Jeff Samardzija's, Coy Hill. Good to see Coy back in the big leagues. Parts of 6 seasons with the Cubs between 07 and last year. 263 games. Doesn't give you much offensively, but calls a good game. Known for his defense. A good guy to have in your clubhouse too.
That's the 6th home run that Jeff has allowed on a first pitch. Of the 20 he's allowed. League was batting .396 against him when putting the first pitch in play.
Do you have the league average on overall first pitches in play?
No, we can find it's pretty high. Yeah, it's always up there, at least 340, 350ish. I'm guessing. Again, it's a percentage play because when he gets the jump on hitters after 0-1, they're hitting a $193.
Hill swings and misses for strike 3.
It's oftentimes the key, though, to be able to throw strike 1 with either the breaking ball or a well-placed fastball to get the jump on the hitter without giving in over the heart of the plate. And this is a dandy splitter here. Hill's out in front.
The first pitch major league average when you put a ball in play, 338. Yeah. 0-1 is 311. 0-2 is 153. So in all counts, with 2 strikes, it's 179.
Hey, I recognize that swing.
Used to hit rockets into the upper deck.
He's been watching my instructional video. I like to call it the panic swing. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. Collapses the backside. Tremendous. Be a good hack in cricket.
You can drive yourself a little crazy looking at all the different numbers in the count, but we've done the run scoring expectancy, the matrix. It's all about outs more than bases, right? With fewer outs, your chances of scoring go up a lot and they go down with outs. It's the same with the count. It's about strikes, not balls.
Controlling the count.
Absolutely. Well, Logan Morrison controlled his at bat, a first pitch home run, and it's 2-0 Marlins.
Bleachers during the last regular season night game of the year at Wrigley Field. Tuesday, September 24th, Cubs battle the Pirates. It's Oktoberfest celebration night. You won't want to miss it. Purchase your special Budweiser Bleacher tickets through the special events page to redeem an exclusive limited edition Cubs Stein. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/special events. Well, they'll be doing the chicken dance in the bleachers that night.
Make sure you send us your comments on today's game through Twitter. You can use #CubsTalk, and we will read our AT&T tweet of the game a little bit later. Flynn in his big league debut working with a 2-0 lead. Gets Leonardo Navarro to swing and miss. Navarro hitting right-handed, 61 plate appearances this year, hitting .392 with a .492 on base and a .647 slugging percentage. One ball, one strike. Foul out of play. It's 1-2.
Nice day to be out, soak up some rays. Be hot over the weekend with the Brewers in town.
Two and two. Murphy and Lake also due up.
Got to believe advantage Flynn first time through the batting order as the Cubs get their first look at him. They may have had some video, certainly had some scouting reports on him. Bit of an unknown quantity.
On a hop, Echeverria makes the play.
It's pretty slick out there at short. Little snatch on this one, didn't need it. This is just for looks, for effect. Style points. Getting low so he could peer through the screen and make the save.
Here's Murphy, a modest 6-game hitting streak. I say modest because it's a hit per game. He's hitting .273 during the streak. Not all hitting streaks are created equal. 2-0.
Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. I believe he struck out 4 times, maybe.
Incredible. And after it was broken, then he went on, didn't he?
Yeah,
like a 20-gamer right after that.
Long streak, yeah.
Flynn doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. No chance to get nervous, I suppose. 3-1. There's Lake on deck. Foul back up our way.
He adheres to the old work quickly, throw strikes, Babe Ruth is dead philosophy.
What did they say while the Babe was still alive? All of that except the last part?
Yeah, it probably said home run Baker or something.
So Flynn comes back and strikes out Murphy.
Work quickly, throw strikes to everybody but the Babe.
Right. Makes sense. Here's Lake.
T-shirt Ray Miller had made up years ago when he was the pitching coach of the Pirates. The work quickly, Babe Ruth is dead philosophy.
Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to work quickly even when facing Babe Ruth. If he's going to get you, at least it'd be quick.
Yeah, and
maybe not painless, but
yeah.
Get you fast.
And the same rules applied to Babe that applied to everybody else. If you were ahead of him, you had a better chance of finishing him off. And the more baseball you watch, the more you appreciate the guys who do pitch with some pace.
Crack bat, base hit. Lake will make an aggressive turn on his way to second with a double. First hit for the Cubs today.
If it cracked his bat, but if it did, it died a hero. 2-out double for Lake. And another cutter or slider moving in toward the hands. Now, 2 outs, you're less likely to try it, but I think Flynn, this big lefty, would be vulnerable to a steal of third. Something to keep an eye on later in the ball game. And in a 1-out situation where there's a lot of value in getting third base, be worth a try.
One strike on McDonald. He's playing right. Decent chance these guys faced each other in the Pacific Coast League earlier this year. Donald with Iowa, Flynn with New Orleans. Tapped foul. Flynn began the year at Double-A Jacksonville. 4 starts, a 157 before moving up a level. First Marlin starting pitcher to make his big league debut against the Cubs since Logan Kensing in 2004, and I remember that particular debut vividly. Did not go well for Kensing. September of 04, made the jump from single A to the bigs. The Marlins had a pitching shortage. It was right after Hurricane Francis, so they had a real cramped schedule. I seem to recall the Marlins played 30 games in their last 27 days.
That's a grind. I don't remember Hurricane Francis.
I do.
What year was it?
04. There were two of them. I think it was Francis and Gene that had the same path. Made landfall in Stuart, Florida, 3 weeks to almost the minute apart. Cubs and Marlins were washed out in Miami. They ended up making up that series by playing an extra game here. And then the Cubs, I know, had to, in the middle of a road trip, fly to Miami for 1 day for a doubleheader. And the Marlins played the Expos on the south side of Chicago.
Now that rings a bell.
McDonald shoots that one out toward the alley, and it's going to get down, and the Cubs are on the board. Back-to-back two-out doubles. And it's now 2-1.
First RBI in a Cub uniform for Darnell McDonald. Couple good two-out swings against the young lefty.
So I've called Marlins Expos in Chicago and Cubs Astros in Milwaukee, both after hurricanes. Bizarre.
Yeah, that the Hurricane Ike game, that was really bizarre. And Zambrano ends up throwing a no-hitter.
Down by Hill.
It's one where I had two different shoes on. We
That's
left,
right.
we left
you
Houston.
had packed in the dark.
Yeah, there was no power. Got the word late that we were heading to Milwaukee to play that series. Threw some things together, threw my shoes on, and they actually opened up a line at the airport for us, even though the airport was closed, to go through. And I took my shoes off to put them on the belt. They were two completely different shoes.
The good news is you had another pair just like it at home.
Yeah. And it was a little bit of a fashion trend. I mean, why do we have to wear a matching pair if you think about it?
Was that a popular topic on that trip?
It was, yeah.
Flings 3-0. Caught the outside corner on Sweeney.
Matter of fact, I'm going to start a movement. The unpaired shoe movement.
Were they both the same shade
They
of
were
like brown?
Yeah, they were both dark. Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't like a black and a brown.
No.
Ball 4. That'll get Samardzija to the plate. Redmond pairing the veteran catcher Hill with the rookie Flynn. I'm sure they work together at AAA as well.
And Hill out there to talk to his young lefty and just to settle him down a little bit, and maybe just a little cautionary advice like, hey, don't get too aggressive here, because Samardzija is going to come up here hacking. He's going to try to hit one to the moon, so make sure you make a pitch here.
Driven to right, but Stanton is there to make the play. The Cubs with a couple of doubles coming with 2 outs. McDonald knocking in Lake, and it's now 2-1 Marlins.
Game time is 3:05. Come early. Bring the kiddos. First 4,000 children 13 and younger will receive limited edition American Girl doll-size Cubs apparel. Please note the doll and shoes are not included. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Top of the order, second time through for the Marlins against Jeff Samardzija. Gave up a 2-run homer to Logan Morrison in the second. We're now in the third, and Chris Coghlan turns on one. Right field corner, foul. Just out of play. Loud foul strike on Coghlan.
Coghlan, the 2009 Rookie of the Year in the National League. When I think of Coghlan, I think of a guy who sprays the ball around the field. But Samardzija likes to throw that cutter in on left-handed hitters. He may have been cheating a little bit there. Looking in.
Ground ball to second. It's Barney. Talking about Flynn losing his dad when he was 8. Well, Jeff Samardzija went through something similar when he was 16. He lost his mom, Deborah, back in 2001. Pretty devastating for him. She passed away after battling a respiratory illness. Jeff actually sponsors a scholarship at Notre Dame that goes to a student who has lost a parent. Solano fouls. 0-2 the count. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Pretty good, didn't get it. 1-2.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Maybe it fooled Ed Hickox. That had a lot of tailing action right back over the plate.
Had a lot of plate, too.
Took him one extra pitch. A little something extra on it at 95 for his 5th strikeout.
And he got all cylinders going now. Fastball really jumping out of his hand. Didn't get the call. Comes back with 95 and throws it right by him.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like that last one? How about this one? Yelich fouls off. Nothing in 2. Final game of the season series. Knotted up at 3 apiece. Cubs won 3 of 4 in Miami in April. The Marlins had won the first 2 in this series. Samardzija looking really good here. Made the one mistake to Morrison, but he's got 6 strikeouts through 3. 2-1 Miami. On Comcast Sportsnet. Join Bowden and Jiggs as they preview the Bears offense going into Sunday's matchup with the Bengals. Gear up for week 1 with Bears Huddle today after Cubs post-game live on Comcast Sportsnet. NFL season starts tomorrow night. Ravens and Broncos. Wow. Where has the summer gone?
We're getting towards the end of the marathon. Now it's a sprint or a limp.
Although I would
depending
say,
on where you are.
Yeah, I would say September, October, early November is the best time of year to be in Chicago. Changing of the seasons. Castro up in the air out into deep right center. That ball way back there and into the basket. It's a home run. And we're tied at 2. That's his 9th of the year.
Went a long time between 7 and 8, but he's been swinging the bat with much more authority in recent games, driving the ball. Just to really finish up on a strong note. Here it is, our Ford home run replay. Flynn catches maybe a little bit too much of the plate, but a good swing of the bat by Castro. 2-0 fastballs tend to get hit hard.
Barney bounces, backhanded by the shortstop Echeverria, and he throws him out. Boy, really positive development. Starlin Castro on this homestand. He's hit in all 6 games. Nine homers, 8 here at home for Castro. Go back to even. The 0-1 to Rizzo's a strike. Flynn coming back on an 0-2. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're already in the bottom of the 9th in Atlanta. The Mets leading the Braves 5-1. Duda and Brown have homered for the Mets. Barehanded play, Solano, and he gets him. Andrew Brown, Lucas Duda, each homering for the Mets.
September's the time of the year when you're looking at the box scores and you're reading out of town scores. You go, who's that?
And you
double check. Who's that guy?
You see a surname that looks vaguely familiar, but you're trying to figure out the first name. Well, Alex Presley hitting his first homer as a Twin since being acquired from the Pirates. Twins and Astros tied at 3 early on in Houston. Go to the bottom of the 3rd in that one. Two and 1 on Navarro.
Clubs played 12 innings last night. Twins looking to sweep that series. 10-6 on Monday, 9-6 and 12 last night, 3-3 already in the 3rd. The points going up on the board.
High deep drive, Deoner Navarro Way back there. Out of here. Cubs lead 3-2. That's his 12th of the year.
More of a gentle breeze in the ballpark right now than a strong wind. Flynn learning you got to be careful against big league hitters. Castro got him. Now Navarro, who has been so good from the right side. Ball's up in his eyes. Ford home run replay showing Navarro going deep for the 12th time.
Just to the left of the batter's eye.
Extending his career high.
Oh, and 2 on Murphy. Couple of homers here in the third, and the Cubs tying it and taking the lead.
That's what they do. The Cubs have been a very home run dependent team this year.
This time Ruggiano will make the catch, and the inning comes to an end. Cubs trailed 2-0 in the second. Got on the board on a McDonald double. Castro leading off the third with a home run. Then Deanna Navarro 3 batters later giving the Cubs their first lead today. Ranch Doritos, Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Liv Moss. The Menards grounds crew in slow-mo. Taking care of that infield dirt before the ball game. So Samardzija now with a lead. One strike on Giancarlo Stanton. He led off the second with an infield hit. Scored on the Morrison 2-run homer. Way outside. A ball and a strike. Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton. Used to go by Mike.
I wonder if his numbers were better as Mike or as Giancarlo. But last year he led the league. Yeah. Led all of Major League Baseball in slugging. So.
I'm going to say Giancarlo. Two previous Mike Stantons. Both were pitchers, a righty and a lefty.
Lefty had a very long major league career.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3 for strikeout number 7. Samardzija has punched out 3 in a row. And 1, 2, 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced.
Split finger pitch. He was trying to go down and away with it. Didn't get that, but the off-speed nature of the pitch good enough to fool Stanton.
Swinging strike on Ruggiano. This is the kind of day, and now with a lead, JD, and the way Samardzija has looked early, you'd really like him to just dominate this lineup. Two and one.
Yes, but I recall having that conversation not too long ago.
We did.
You hope for it. Sometimes you expect it, but you don't always get it. Might have been his start in Philadelphia. That club had really been struggling. He gave up 9 in that game.
Jeff had a 3.35 ERA in April, only went 1-4. Had a 2.31 in May, June 4.20, and then over 5 each of the last 2 months. He had 22 strikeouts combined in his first 2 starts of the year. A win at Pittsburgh and a loss in Atlanta. Ball 4.
Man, that couldn't have been off the plate by much, maybe a little low. Luciano strikes out a lot. He'll also take his walks. He's got 1 of each today.
Morrison with the long 2-run homer in his first at bat.
Yeah, that game in Atlanta, still one of the most bizarre games I've seen in a while. 13 strikeouts for Jeff in 5 2/3.
So he got 17 outs, 13 of them on the strikeout. Lifted high in the air. Shallow left center. And Lake, who's been playing a lot of center lately, takes it away from Sweeney. Tickets are still available for these September games, so don't miss your chance to enjoy Wrigley Field before the summer is over. The Cubs finish off this homestand with a 3-game weekend set against the Milwaukee Brewers, and then the final homestand begins September 20th and will feature games against probable playoff teams Atlanta and Pittsburgh. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. After today, only 9 home games, 3 series left here at Wrigley. And 20 of the final 23 will be against the NL Central. The only non-division games will be versus the Braves. 1-0 on Echeverria.
Now we'll be able to make our final assessments on all these teams heading to the postseason. We can make very clever comments about their chances of winning in the postseason and then be dead wrong. Because once you get into the postseason, all bets are off.
Two and 0. That one in there. It's 2-1.
Keep waiting for the Dodgers to cool off. That hasn't happened. They've won 6 in a row.
Just one streak after another. Three and one. The catcher Hill is on deck. Ruggiano the runner at first, and he takes off. There's a ground ball and a little slip by Barney, and he can't get it. So a little 2-out run and hit on a 3-1. That would have been an easy ground ball out had the runner not been going. Sometimes it's hard to quantify when a manager's doing a good job, but you'd have to say Mike Redmond pulled the right string there, didn't he?
Yeah, sure did. Starting the base runner, Barney breaks to cover the bag, creates an opening on the right side for Echeverria. Doesn't hit the ball very hard at all, but didn't need to.
Hill bats with runners at the corners. Swing and a miss.
Coverage at second base with a base runner going there is determined by a lot of factors. Shortstop and second baseman get together and communicate who the hitter is, the count, the pitch selection.
Our AT&T UVerse multi-view. Cubs leading by a run. Marlins with a 2-out rally.
3-1 looked like a fastball in. They thought Echeverria was more likely to pull the ball on the ground than hit it the other way, so they had Barney covering, and Echeverria able to just push that ball to the right side.
Marlins with an all Wichita State battery today.
Shocking.
That's good. Called strike 3. That's not shocking. That's 8 punch outs for Jeff Samardzija. They strand the tying run at third base. 3-2 Cubs.
Qdoba Mexican Grill wants to spread their 3-cheese queso love to the Chicagoland area. Opt into Qdoba's mobile club by texting Q to 50500 to receive free chips and queso. That sounds good on a day like today. On the rocks, a little salt, chips and queso, a little guacamole.
Yeah.
A little hardball.
Ryan Flynn, the scoreless first, but gave up 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and now faces Junior Lake in the fourth. Flynn making his major league debut. Big Show's bunt. Takes it for a ball.
Fatigue oftentimes comes early for a young pitcher, a guy making his debut. All the nerves, the anxiety throughout the day. Maybe didn't sleep well last night. Big rush of adrenaline early, and then you kind of hit a wall.
Brendan Neely checking in. Flew in from Texas with his dad to catch the game today here at Wrigley. Rainbow to center. Ruggiano went back, now comes in to make the catch. One out in the inning, and it's McDonald who knocked in the first Cubs run. In the second with a double. Chopped foul. Did you see the great Jim Leland quote on run support?
I read a story, yes.
Before Max Scherzer started and lost 2-1 to the Red Sox last night, Leland was asked about the run support. I guess Scherzer's getting the best run support in the majors. I mean, his ERA is under 3, so it's not as if he's needed all that support. Quote, some people could find a flaw in Bo Derek. That's a base hit. McDonald is 2 for 2. I just like the fact that he
references Bo Derek.
Yeah.
Going in the Wayback Machine.
He is. And I'm with you, Jim. I'm with you. Leland, not a real proponent of some of the new school stats. He said, quote, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I won't listen to any of it. I have no interest in talking about it. You can figure out whatever you want. My view of pitcher stats is this. Did he give us a chance to win? If he did that on any kind of consistent basis, for me, he's been a very good pitcher. I also like guys that win. I'd rather have a pitcher nobody's talking about who has won 15 games than somebody everyone's raving about who's won 5.
Yeah, well,
I love Jim, but I disagree with him on that.
Yeah, I get his point to a degree. I mean, if we're just talking about analyzing pitchers, it's the wins is probably the least reliable way to evaluate a starting pitcher.
Well, I think he's scoffing at the idea that I think what he's taking is the question about run support and overreacting to the idea that people are criticizing Scherzer, which I don't think they are. And as you mentioned recently, Scherzer would be the first one to tell you that the one-loss record is not the best indicator of the season he's had.
Yeah, that's the irony. Scherzer's a guy who does believe in the analytical approach to evaluating players. And yeah, but all his peripheral, all of his other numbers are great.
Yep.
I mean, you could make the case that he's not the best pitcher in the American League this year, but you can't make the case that he's not one of the 5 best.
Sweeney walks, 2 on for Samardzija. Second time Ryan has taken a free pass ahead of the pitcher.
At the same time, if somebody were to go to Jim and say, hey, boy, Chris Sale's not a very good pitcher, is he? He's 10-12. Jimmy would say, wait a minute, he's probably not getting any run support.
Yeah. Exactly. Bunted by Samardzija right to the third baseman Coughlin. That's exactly what he was trying to do, and he moves both runners up a base.
That was a clinic there. Be ready to bunt, get a strike, put it down. Puts it down in the right direction, too. Well, a while back, situation like that, Dale might have said, go ahead and swing the bat. There's already one out in the inning. Castro has struggled mightily this year, but the way Starlin's swinging it lately changes the thinking a little bit. And most recently, he did this on a 2-0 fastball in the third. Favorite part of the ballpark, right center.
Called strike. Inside, 1-1.
Escape foiled.
Lined to right, but Stanton is there. Boy, Castro really squaring it up over the last couple of weeks. That's good to see. Keep doing that, Starlin. Don't worry about making it out. 3-2 Cubs.
The Cubs take on the Brewers right here at the friendly confines. Coverage begins at 2:30 with Papa John's pregame live. Cubs Brewers Saturday 2:30 on Comcast Sports Net. That would be Jake Arrieta, Johnny Helweg.
Helweg, the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Year, struggled in his first go-round in the bigs. 1-0 on Brian Flynn. Ball strike, it's 1-1. We're in the 5th inning. Cubs leading 3-2. Laced foul into the Cubs pen.
I don't think he's going to pull him.
The wind and the 1-2 is high. Flynn a little pesky.
Pesky term we usually don't use on a 6'8", 240-pound hitter. You can't finish him though.
Just punches that one over. Starlin Castro for his first major league hit. That actually looked like he knew what he was doing.
Well, he went into 2-strike mode, I think, pretty much throughout that at bat, and Jeff just did him a favor with that high fastball. All he has to do is kind of lay the barrel on it. Anything down, he wasn't going to get to. Sticks his butt out and punches it over shortstop for a hit.
That'll make you talk to yourself as a starting pitcher. You give up 2-strike hit to the opposing pitcher. So it's Coghlan. Big swing and a miss.
Coghlan looks like he's been trying to turn on the ball all day.
Grounded out twice to second. Another one here would probably mean 2 outs. 0-2. Hey, when you make net purchases of $20 or more and show us your receipts, we'll deposit $20 into your U.S. Bank checking or savings account. It's our special thank you for becoming a new credit card customer. Outside for a ball. There's the newest Cub, Chang Yong Lim, and sitting to his right is Coghlan with a wild strike 3 swing. Tae Kim, his interpreter. Lim is 37 years old, wearing number 12. Mr. Zero.
Good numbers. 11 games at Iowa, low ERA, long time career in Korea and Japan, and then worked his way through the Cubs minor league system this year, coming back from Tommy John surgery.
The second such operation of his career. Come at you from different arm angles. I asked Chris Bosio, what does he throw? Chris said everything. He was a little coy when the reporters asked him, what's your repertoire? And essentially the answer was, wait and see. The hitters don't know me yet. I said it with a laugh, but considering the body of work, I'm sure every major league team has a scouting report on him from his time in Japan and Korea.
Yeah, there's no surprises anymore.
Flynn at first, 1 out and a 1-1. Double play chance. 6-4-3, and that's the inning. Pitcher's best friend, that double play ball. Cubs leading the Marlins 3-2 in the 5th. Home of the Chicago Cubs is nearly complete. The new Mesa facility will have features reminiscent of Wrigley Field with a unique Arizona feel. Fans can place a $100 refundable deposit to secure their priority seating for season tickets. The seating selection process begins this fall. For details, go to Cubs.com/Mesa. Cubs leading 3-2, trying to add on against a rookie named Brian Flynn. First pitch strike to Darwin Barney. He's grounded out twice, once into a double play. Scuffling now 4 for his last 34. Here's a pitch. There's a base hit. Long run over for Ruggiano. Barney is going to get second as the ball got away from Ruggiano. It's a double.
And base runners in every inning against the young left-hander. He pitched around an error in the first, but the Cubs have Had a lot of traffic this afternoon. There was a leadoff double by Barney. He was going to get there even without the mishandle by Ruggiano out there in center, primarily because he was thinking double out of the box. As soon as he saw it headed towards the alley, he was thinking 2 bases.
Outside, and a slider to Rizzo. Bunch of minor league notes for you today. Inside. Yesterday, the Cubs named Chris Bryant of Daytona, third baseman, and his teammate Pierce Johnson, the right-handed pitcher, the minor league player and pitcher of the month for August. D-Cubs in the playoffs. One of 3 Cubs affiliates to make the postseason. Chris Hatcher, former big league catcher, is up in the bullpen for Miami. Tennessee at Double-A will start its playoff series with Birmingham in the Southern League playoffs tomorrow. It's a best of 5. Third baseman Christian Villanueva named the Southern League Hitter of the Week. Last week hit 3 homers. That's a strike. Corey Black, 5 shutout innings as Daytona beat Dunedin. Start the best of 3 playoff series in the Florida State League. So they stay hot going back to the regular season. The D-Cubs have won 12 of their last 13.
Chris Bryant, the Cubs' first pick in the draft this year. .336 batting average, 9 home runs, 32 driven in, and 128 minor league at-bats this year.
Pretty good first year. And he had 2 hits last night. Boise with a 3-0 shutout win over Salem Kaiser. That's a best of 3, so they can clinch tonight on the road. Paul Blackburn, 7 shutout innings, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Just missed. It's 3-2. So again, Tennessee starts tomorrow. Daytona and Boise getting the jump in there. Best of 3 playoff sets. Ball 4. Deanna Navarro giving the Cubs the lead with a home run. Our Coors Light freeze cam. Let's talk location.
Once up, and a lot of guys aren't going to get to that ball. They're going to pop it up. They're going to swing through it. He's shown the ability from the right side of the plate to get on top of that high fastball and hit it hard, as he certainly did in this instance. Talked earlier about Flynn having the advantage first time through the batting order, but now they're getting their 3rd look at him. Redmond might be ready to make a move.
Flynn was ready to hand him the ball, and I think Mike said, "Not just yet, son."
We're trying to buy a little time.
In the blue horizontal stripes, blue and white stripes, that's his mom, Michelle. So his major league debut in the books. He'll leave trailing 3-2. On to call to the pen time. The Cubs trying to add on to their lead when we come back. Catcher, who made his major league debut in 2010 against the Cubs as a catcher, but then the following year converted to a full-time pitcher and made his major league pitching debut against the Cubs here at Wrigley Field. It was a 1-2-3 inning. First player to catch in the majors 1 year, returned the next year as a pitcher since Art Dahl in 1936. And a strike called on Tiana Navarro.
95 miles an hour at the knees on the corner. A good start for the former catcher. 33 saves this year for their AAA club in New Orleans to tie Pacific Coast League record.
Quickly 0-2. Nobody out. Golden chance here to tack on some runs to a one-run edge.
That feels like a more comfortable Cubs lead, but it's just one run.
Popped into shallow right. And a great play by Solano running away from home plate. The basket grab.
He's been impressive in this series, both at the plate and in the field. And this is a sweetheart of a play. Tough chance. Had a long way to go. Peering back up into that bright sky. Well done.
Murphy with one out. While he was still catching, Hatcher at the AA level hit a game-ending homer against the Cubs AA affiliate Tennessee in the bottom of the ninth in Game 4 of the Southern League Championship Series to clinch the league title. It was with Jacksonville. He was a career .210 hitter in the minors. If you're going to hit .210 in the minors, you better be the best defensive catcher in the world to make it to this level. Second appearance of the year for Hatcher at this big league level. Foul by Murphy.
The fifth-round pick in 2006. A lot of times too, they'll draft a guy with that arm. You know, so well, he's a catcher. Just doesn't pan out. You put 95 on the hill and see how that works. A lot of the position players turned pitchers were catchers.
Strong arm.
Strong arms. That never developed.
Should have a handle on pitch sequences and the like as a catcher.
Kind of a max effort guy. That's okay. Typically pitches an inning at a time. Doesn't need to save energy. Cut it loose, throw it down around the knees at 95 with good movement. You got a pretty good chance of being successful.
Stanton in right. Barney back to tag. He'll jog to third. Got the corners covered with 2 outs for Junior Lake. Boy, you'd hate to miss out an opportunity to add on, especially getting into the middle of the order. It's going to take Junior Lake 2 outs to come up with a big hit.
It's against that stiff front leg.
Pitch. Big swing by Lake. Foul tipped it. .96 at the knees.
Well, there's nothing devious about him, is there? He's not trying to trick anybody.
Foul tip on a riser to end the inning. Hopefully that inning does not come back to haunt the Cubs later. They had the first 2 on but could not score. They do lead 3-2 after 5.
Sunday, don't miss the premiere of Bears pregame live on Comcast Sportsnet. CSN is your new home for the most comprehensive Bears game day coverage from a Chicago perspective. Join Chris Bowden and former Bears Dan Jiggets and Jim Miller for Bears pregame live Sunday at 11, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Ivy's still green, but we're getting close to that point in the summer where it's going to start to change.
Baseball season is like a life, Len. Conceived in the winter. Spring training is pregnancy. Born on opening day. Now we head towards its fateful conclusion.
And then we start the process all over again.
Reborn.
Yeah.
Every March. That's all I got.
Very eloquent. One quick out. Here's Stanton. inside for ball one.
And that's, for those of us who follow the big league club on a daily basis, but the decision makers, the front office people, it never ends for them. It's they get cranked up, they get busy. Sometimes their winter is busier than their summer.
Well, and you can tell by all the roster moves. I mean, they are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to add impact talent to this organization. Samar just won one. Look out! The bat went flying and hit a little guy. I hope he's all right. Man, oh man. Oh. Stanton put his hands on his helmet. And a lot of concern here.
Dad taking that little guy quickly out of the seating area and down the concourse, and he'll get some medical attention. That's very unsettling.
It was a 1-2 to Stanton. And a bouncer into left for a base hit. Comes Ruziano. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul. Heater inside. 1-1. Each team with 6 hits. Morrison with his 5th home run. That was in the 2nd. The Cubs have had a couple. Castro and Navarro. Castro is 9th. Navarro his 12th. Both in the 3rd.
Martin's had these Marlin hitters off balance all day. That combination of mid-90s fastball and the good split. And them caught in between. Now Carlos Stanton, big guy, but he runs pretty well. He's not a base stealer, but he's not a base clogger either.
Not much of a lead over there. And a ground ball into center. Back-to-back singles. The Cubs unable to add on in the 5th. Now all of a sudden the Marlins threatening here in the 6th.
Jeff had 92 pitches now. It's a warm day. He's in fantastic shape, so fatigue really shouldn't be much of an issue. But the fact that the Marlins are getting their 3rd look at him, it was the 6th inning that was his undoing last time out against the Phils. Strung together 4 consecutive hits, 2 of which were triples in a 4-run 6th. Morrison jumped on a first pitch fastball for his home run back in the second. So start him off speed, but off the plate.
Two and 0 on Morrison.
Good take there. That's the swing and miss splitter there from Samardzija. When he throws it over the plate but down, that's where he's at his best. When he throws it off the plate, he flies open a little bit, and the hitters see it pretty well and then tend not to chase it. But that one that's on the plate, down below the knees, is an out pitch for him. Good take by Morrison. Now he's got himself in a hitter's count.
One missed outside, 3-0.
Potential game-changing at bat,
Yep.
and Samardzija doesn't want to make a mistake.
The guy on deck, Echeverria, already with 2 singles.
You got to believe he's got the green light.
Looked like he did. Couldn't pull the trigger, but looked like he was ready to swing. 3-1. Here's the pitch. They're loaded. Patient at bat for Morrison. And Samardzija now walked 2 on the day. James Russell up in the Cubs bullpen. Here comes Chris Bosio. Russell just starting to throw.
White Sox Yankees tonight, and hey, happy birthday to the Hawk, Ken Harrelson. 72, I believe, today.
Archimedes Caminero up for the Marlins. Dan Plesac will join Hawk tonight. Filling in for Stoney.
Well, going to pull a rabbit out of his hat here.
Bases loaded, corner men in, back up the middle, and Echeverria takes ball 1.
At times, Jeff this year has gotten into trouble by trying to throw his way out of trouble, reaching back for a little something extra and missing spots. Got to remember to try to just make quality pitches, pitch your way out of trouble. And that's exactly the feedback he's getting from Navarro back there. Calm down, nice and easy.
A high drive, deep left center field, and this ball is gone. That's a grand slam for Echeverria.
Wow.
6-3.
Well, the 6th inning got him last time, and it just took a big old bite out of Jeff here this afternoon. And again, just couldn't execute the pitch. He fell behind 1-0, trying to go down and away, and anything but. Belly button high.
Second career grand slam. Remember, the other one was off Roy Halladay. Six to 3. Coy Hill with a gapper. And he's got a double. 5 straight batters have now reached after Yelich made an out on the first pitch of the inning.
And Lucas, a 31-year-old rookie. Good story for the Marlins this year. 3 home runs. First came at AT&T Park back in June off Barry Zito.
Lucas batting for Hatcher. Chris Hatcher has a chance now for his first major league win. He got out of that jam started by Brian Flynn. 2 on, nobody out. Hatcher got the next 3 guys.
Flynn in his major league debut today, 4 innings plus a couple batters, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, a couple of punch outs. He allowed 2 home runs, also recorded his first major league hit.
The kick, the 3-1. A chopper to second. It'll be Barney to make the play. Hill at third, 2 outs.
Marlins with a chance to sweep this 3-game series on the road. I'm guessing that hasn't happened for them very often this year. 23-46 on the road.
They tied their season high in terms of a win streak, 3. Today would be their first 4-game winning streak if they hang on. Long way to go, though. We're only in the 6th.
Yeah, as I go through their game by game, their notes, I don't see a series sweep on the road of at least 3 games. They won 2 in a row over the Mets in New York. The first game of that series was postponed due to rain.
Three and 1.
Kind of ugly down in South Florida the way they dismantled this team after building the big, new ballpark. Jeffrey Loria, the owner of the Marlins, taking a lot of heat. They have some things going well for them right now.
We have a lot of good young talent. They just put up a 4-spot. Echeverria with a grand slam, and the Marlins now lead this one 6-3. September 8th at 1:20. The first 5,000 kids 13 and younger will get a Cubs chest protector backpack. Then after the game, the first 1,000 children will have the chance to run the bases. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. One of the best names around, Archimedes Caminero, is on. You see his minor league numbers.
Yeah, marked improvement in the control numbers. Still not real good, 21 walks in 54 innings, but control issues have plagued him throughout his minor league career. He's an extreme hard thrower. He can get to triple digits with that heater.
Facing Darnell McDonald, who's 2 for 2.
Ooh.
97 with some good life. Caminero had Tommy John surgery in July of 2011.
The load out there, 6'4", 250. Antonio Alfonseca like.
26 years old. Fouled out of play. From the stretch with nobody on. High on a breaking ball. It's 1-2. Left-hander Zach Phillips.
Comfortable at bat. You got a guy that throws so hard, has a reputation of not really knowing where it's going.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Catch me if you can fastball, 97 miles an hour, right over the heart of the plate, and he slips it by Darnell McDonald. Marlins bullpen outstanding last night. A 4 1/3 out of the starter Kohler. Bullpen has pitched scoreless baseball throughout this series.
Called strike to Sweeney. 1-1. Archimedes Euclides Caminero. Now that's a name.
Sounds like a math guy. Look tight with Socrates. So we saw Hatcher out there at 95, 96. This guy's just a little bit better in terms of velocity. A bunch of the young starters, plus fastball guys.
Luis Valbuena is on deck. He'll hit for Samardzija. Off the end of the bat, down along the left field line. Yelich can't get it in the bullpen. So count holding 2-2. Make it 3-2. Andre Dawson, the Hall of Famer, will conduct the stretch a little bit later on. Chat with Andre in the top of the 7th.
Sweeney's done his piece, working a couple of walks today off the left-hander.
3-2. Driven in the air, deep left center. It will go for a home run. Cubs within 2. It's 6-4.
That's the anatomy of a good day right there. Work a couple of walks off the left and then get a 3-2 fastball from the hard-throwing right-hander and drive it into the seats. Pretty much sit fastball off this guy. The question is, can you catch up to it? The answer from Ryan Sweeney is, yeah, absolutely. Ford home run replay. Good swing of the bat. Not unlike the one we saw from Bogusevic last night. Same part of the ballpark.
Third homer of the day for the Cubs. All solos. Marlins with all their runs coming on a 2-run homer and a grand slam. Here's the pinch hitter Valbuena.
You can turn on the cheese.
One ball, one strike on Valbuena. This one's far from over. Ball really carrying well today. High pop fly behind second. It's Echeverria. 2 outs. Mets did beat the Braves today 5-2. Dylan G over former Cub Cameron Lowe. Another former Cub. But Troy Hawkins got the save. Lowe started that game. How about that? 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs on 11 hits.
Yeah, I think they're trying to buy extra days of rest for the mainstays in their rotation as they head down the stretch here. Chris Medlin, some of those other guys, the innings starting to pile up.
Freddie Garcia, 2 2/3 of relief for the Braves. Another hard hit ball by Castro, but right at the shortstop on the ground to end the inning. Ryan Sweeney with an opposite field home run, his 5th of the year. Cubs within 2. It's now 6-4 Miami. 7 National League MVP with the Cubs. Now a special assistant with the Miami Marlins. Hawk, always great to see you back here at Wrigley.
Thank you, Andy.
How are you?
Doing real well. Feeling fine as ever, and can't complain.
It'll be Donovan Solano to lead off the Marlins 7th against veteran right-hander Carlos Villanueva. Hawk, talking about your ball club, JD, you know, he couched it last night by saying September, it's hard to evaluate guys, and especially a small sample size, but the kid on deck, Christian Yelich, has been really impressive here this week.
Well, there's nothing not to like about Christian Yelich. He's a top prospect in this organization, and starting to get a good look at him. He is that one individual that's real special. You know, we worked with him defensively and tried to get him to gather his footwork so that defensively, you know, he could make some of the plays. But swinging the bat, he's a natural. And I like his swing. I like the fact that he stays in there against left-handed pitching. He's a humble, quiet kid. And like I said, there's nothing really not to like about him.
Humble, quiet kid. That sounds like a young Andre Dawson.
Yeah, you know, it looks like he has the ability to go the other way. He pulled the home run off Wood on a breaking ball, but he'll probably get the power will probably come a little bit too as he fills out.
Oh yeah, he's a gap-to-gap guy with some power. He actually hit for more power than anyone in the organization in spring training.
Solano's going to have a triple. He's had a big series as well. Donovan Solano with a 3-base hit.
Marlins looking to add on. Villanueva pitched 2 innings against the Marlins Monday. It was very effective.
Now the knothole was not here when you played, but would you say right field at Wrigley, the toughest right field in terms of ballparks you played in? I still think it's the case.
Without a doubt.
The wind and the sun.
Trying to play the elements, the high sky, the sun, the wind, all at the same time. It can be a very difficult task, but if you come out, if you get your work in, and on a day-to-day basis, you have to know, how the ball is going to play, depending on what the wind is doing. You become a little bit acclimated with it. Actually, late in the game is the toughest time because the game can be on the line, but early in the game, the center fielder has that problem.
Infield in, 1 strike. The aforementioned Yelich throw to third, gets into left, and Solano will score. Cubs trying to steal it out there and instead giving up a run.
Yeah, and that's a play that kind of looks bad. You throw the ball away trying to pick a guy up. But you got a man on third base, nobody out, middle of the order up. If ever there's a time you're going to take a chance to try to pick somebody off, that's going to be a tough run to prevent from scoring anyway. Unfortunately, Murphy not able to knock it down. Navarro said, that's on me.
So bases empty and a 1-1 count on the rookie. The inside corner for a strike. 1-2.
Got some arms over there too, Hawk, this Marlin club. Mid-90s fastball, so the young rotation looks pretty good.
Well, you got guys that are throwing hard all over the league. But, yeah, we have some individuals that can get it up there. Getting a good look at them. This is probably going forward what we're going to have to work with. And these guys have been, quite impressive. And like I said, throughout all of baseball, I've never seen so many guys that's throwing 95 plus.
Yeah, one guy comes in throwing 95, the next guy's throwing 97, and it's one after another.
It's going to get out of play. You just saw your former teammate Ryan Sandberg here with the Phillies.
Well,
he enjoyed the weekend, you could tell.
I couldn't be more happier for Rhino. He's finally been given the opportunity. I hope it works out for them where he remains the manager. He put a lot into trying to get to this point in his life, and he's still, in my opinion, an individual I didn't really think wanted to do that based on his nature, his character, but I wish him the best.
I think there's a really good chance he's going to be back next year.
Did you ever think about it?
No, not at all. I'm too old school. I think I look at the way the game has changed, and my personality. It's a lot of work, a lot of hours, and I just can't see how an individual wakes up every morning. You got to go out. You got to appease 25 egos, and everybody has to buy into what it is you're trying to accomplish. And for me, I don't know if I would be patient. I think I could do it, but I don't know if the patience would be there, especially if things are not going well.
1-0 on Giancarlo Stanton. Sweeney and McDonald, it'll be the right fielder to make the catch. That's the first out. I want to ask you about the stolen base. Juan Pierre has over 600. He came off the bench last night, picked up a couple. You were a speed and power guy. I was talking with Mike Redmond the other day. He's given a couple of the young guys the go sign, not the green light, but we want you to run, and they're hesitant to do that. Do you think guys nowadays are a little more afraid to make mistakes than during your era when guys ran a lot more often?
Yeah, you don't have as many guys on the team that are natural base stealers. You have guys with speed but don't really know how to steal a base, and they're reluctant to do it. That's why you're probably seeing them put the go sign and putting the steal on as opposed to giving them the green light. They, for some reason, are not confident enough that they're going to get the jump. They don't want to make the mistakes. And I tip my cap to Juan Pierre because he's an individual that's coached and tried to instill in individuals, hey, if you have that opportunity, take advantage of it. Because it doesn't happen too often where a manager gives you that luxury.
Obviously run scoring about 10 years ago was so high teams didn't want to take the risk of making outs. But I wonder if the other part of it is when you guys played, there was a lot more artificial turf. Ball would scoot through the infield faster, so maybe it was easier to put on some plays back then than it is now. You don't see artificial turf only in a couple of ballparks now.
Yeah, the turf played faster. You played a different game on AstroTurf. But back then, I think, we had a lot of guys that can run, too. I marveled at the guys who would be leading the league in stolen bases, and not only leading the league, but how many bases they were stealing, and there were some good ones.
Your teammate Tim Raines, I put him up there with Ricky. Maybe the two best.
To me, probably the two greatest leadoff hitters of all time.
2-2 the count.
There's probably more speed in the game then because you needed to have more speed to cover the turf because the way that, you had to have guys that could cut the balls off at the gaps.
Runner goes. Speaking of stealing bases, and Yelich is in.
He's just a fine kid. I can't say enough about what he does and how he's just taken the approach he's taken at this level. Nothing phases him. He's quiet, he's humble, unassuming. All he just wants to do is play baseball, and that's what I like about it.
He's in scoring position here. 3-2 on Ruggiano. So Lim playing catch in the bullpen. Might be making his big league debut today. On the ground to the shortstop Castro. It's out number 2. So we'll see the run scoring environment down. This is combined. So 2009, 9.23 runs combined. It's down to 8.37 this year. Subtle, but the steal, the sac bunt, the sac fly, those things become a little bigger as the run scoring comes down. See a lot of 9-8 slugfests these days. They'll intentionally walk Morrison to get to Echeverria.
Well,
although you played some wild games in this ballpark, didn't you?
Yeah, we had some battles here. especially when that wind turned around and went out the other way. But for the most part, the games were so exciting because you knew you were never out of a ball game, and at any time something could happen.
Comes ball 4, and it'll bring up Echeverria, who hit a grand slam to give the Marlins the lead his last time up.
Yeah, Echeverria's got to be wondering, what have I got to do to get some respect? 3 for 3 with a grand slam, and still going to intentionally walk the guy ahead of me.
Well, I think the last time he hit a grand slam, he had 7 runs batted in that game. He hit the grand slam off Roy Halladay. What does he have? 4 today. So he has a chance to match that. Be careful.
Bases loaded triple in that game too. Now you have the record, right, for walks in a game? Was it intentional walks?
Intentional walks.
How many? 5?
5, yes.
Were you aggravated that day, or do you feel like, well, I'll give my teammates a chance?
No, they were from the very first inning. I was hot. I came off of a road trip swinging the bat real well, and Piniella looked at me and said, "You're not going to hit today. We're going to give you the day off."
That's right. It was Lou. Yeah. The Reds.
And we wind up playing extra innings. They lost the game anyway. But 5 intentional walks.
Look, we're not going to let Dawson beat us today. I can just hear him saying it to his pitching staff. 1-1 on Echeverria.
So I guess my question is, did Lou literally say that to you? Did you see him before the game and he said, "We're not going to pitch you. You're going to get the day off today, pal"?
Well, Tony Perez was the one that made the comment to me. But as I would walk out of the dugout and I look over in their dugout and I see Lou putting the 4 fingers up, and it got to be kind of comical after a while.
May 22nd, 1990. The date. Speaking of how tough managing is, you see Lou now, he looks 10 years younger than when he was managing. It is not an easy job, even for guys who've been doing it forever.
Well, if he looks 10 years younger, he might be ready to come back and do it again.
Is Jack McKeon going to come back again? He's in his 80s now.
No, I think Jack is comfortable with what he's doing now. Jack is just going through the golden years now.
All right, Hawk, ready to sing?
Yes,
Andre
I am.
Dawson with the stretch.
He's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Hall of Famer Andre Dawson.
All right, Cub fans. What year is it? It's 7-inning stretch time. All 3. A 1. A 2, a 3, take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the. Shame, for
Another hard thrower, A.J. Ramos for the Marlins. Great job by the Hawk.
Almost 78 strikeouts and 71 in a third. Saw him last night.
Hey, the best news of the day, that young guy who got hit by the bat when Giancarlo Stanton accidentally let it go. He's okay. He and his family are back in their seats. That is great to hear.
He's got the bat.
Got the bat too.
Not going too far away from Dad, though.
Two and one on Barney. The run Villanueva gave up was earned.
Almost a rookie, leads all rookie relievers in innings pitched. He's second in strikeouts. Right-handed hitters hitting 183 off of him.
It's full 3-2. High for ball 4. Let's check out our AT&T tweet of the game. Barbarian 57 says you were talking about mismatched shoes. My granddaughter Hannah always has worn mismatched socks. There we go.
And as a trendsetter, she's thinking outside the box, coloring outside the lines. She's going to go far in this world.
Like I said, when you wear one pair of mismatched socks, you know you have two pairs.
Covered.
Kick the pitch off the corner, 1-1.
Home run here would really be good. See? You got to mix it up every now and then.
Yeah. A wrestling boot on your right
Yeah, some
foot.
kind of a boot and it appears to be a Mickey Mouse slipper.
Three and one on Rizzo. Morrow on deck.
Stay through the ball, stay long through the ball. Don't have to pull it. He's got power to all fields.
Back-to-back walks to start the inning. Chuck Hernandez will come out and tell Ramos, stop walking people.
Yeah, this is the old be aggressive but not too aggressive speech. One swing of the bat and we got a tie ball game.
Well, Navarro already with a home run today, and it gave the Cubs the lead back in the third inning.
Castro had gone deep earlier in the inning. He got a high fastball from the rookie Flynn. number 12 for DeHonor. Continues to post gaudy numbers, especially from the right side of the plate.
Dan Jennings, the lefty, and Ryan Webb, who was really good last night, a couple of innings, is the right-hander.
As good as Webb was last night, you can understand why Redmond would get him up in case there's a chance, a need to get a big double play ball. But the question is, will he be as sharp today as he was last night? It would be tough to be any better. He was really crisp.
2 balls, no strikes.
You get the feeling here that Ramos is in pass the baton mode. He doesn't want to be the guy that gives up the big blow in this game, so he's working out of the zone, hoping these Cub hitters will get themselves out. Let him off the hook.
He got him to swing at a bad one. Both runners will advance, however, as the ball got away from Hill.
At the end of the day, a positive development. It would have been 3-0, but ball gets by to the backstop, 2 in scoring position. Now a little single will make it a 1-run game.
Passed ball charged to Hill.
Marlins will trade and run for an out here. They're back on the infield. The trade the Cubs would prefer not to make. They'd live with it if they did, especially if it was on the right side, and then get Rizzo over to third base on a ground ball, get 1 in, 1 over. That wouldn't be the end of the world.
Ground ball, fair ball. Barney scores. Rizzo will as well. It's a 1-run ball game. Deanna Navarro with a 2-run single.
Game on. It's a little punch shot down the third baseline. Rizzo was shutting it down at third base, and David Bell said, "Not so fast, big fella. Keep on going." Yelich had a long way to go to retrieve this ground ball base hit. That allows both runners to come home. Big day for Navarro.
That'll be it for Ramos, it appears. Back-to-back walks, 2-run single. Mike Redmond wants Ryan Webb, the ground ball machine. Honda call to the pen. It's a 1-run game. Webb.
2-5, 287 for the hard-throwing right-hander out of Clearwater, Florida. Boy, was he good last night, as we mentioned. Got 6 outs, took just 24 pitches. Ball did not leave the infield. 5 ground balls and a punch-out. Mix an occasional slider in with that power sinker.
Murphy hits a drive to deep left. Way back. Cubs lead by a run. A 2-run homer for Murphy.
Well, that one was out of the infield. Past performance is not necessarily predictive of future results. The sinker baller gave one up. Buddy Murphy. Swinging the bat like he did when he first joined the Cubs. It's a sinker and it's moving into the swing, and he gets the head out in front and gets it airborne. Ford home run replay. Man, there's been a bunch of them today. That's number 9 for Murphy.
Against his former team. Still nobody out. 8-7 Cubs. We were going to see Lim make his major league debut, but now it'll be Pedro Strop.
Always the risk when you bring that guy back out consecutive days after working a couple of innings. Not be quite as fresh. Getting good movement, more run than sink, however. There's the good sinker.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's out number 1. Whether the Cubs are home or on the road, guided tours of legendary Wrigley Field are available. Tours include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses almost 100 years of history. For game days and non-game day schedules, or to book your tour, visit Cubs.com/tours today. Webb's 1-0 to McDonald. Foul past third. back our way. Two and two. Well, if it goes according to plan, and you know how these things go, but it'll be Strop and Greg. Strop in the 8th, Greg in the 9th.
8-9-1 due up for the Fish in the 8th. Good race in the AL West. Rangers coming into play today with a 1-game lead over the A's. A's lead Texas today 3-2 in the 4th. Brandon Moss has hit his 26th home run.
Full count on McDonald. Sweeney next. Pitch. The one chopped foul. Got him. So Webb, after coming on and giving up the go-ahead homer, has struck out the next 2.
Good slider there.
From the stretch with nobody on. Sinker's low.
Sweeney worked the count full last time and then went deep off Caminero, the hard throwing right-hander.
Really have to like Ryan's approach. He's been healthy and a very intriguing guy for the Cubs looking ahead to next year.
Yeah, it's really interesting. He and Brian Bogusevic in so many ways, so similar. Left-handed hitters, good athletes, good outfielders.
Swing and a miss. 3 straight Ks to end the inning, but 2 walks, 2-run single, 2-run homer to start the inning. Navarro knocked in the first 2, and then Murphy against one of his former clubs, and the Cubs have the lead 8-7. There he is.
Where's Waldo? Where's Juan Pierre?
Leads us into our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. 613 career steals, most among active players, including 2 last night. 7th on the all-time attempts list. He's now on deck. Pedro Strop is the new Cubs pitcher.
His mission simple: post a 0. 2-4, 4.60 the ERA. It's always the challenge for a manager when you've got a speed guy like Pierre on the bench. Do you use him to pinch hit and risk that he won't reach, or do you save him and use him as a pinch runner so you know for sure you get to take advantage of his legs? That's the issue the Cubs had when they had Tony Campana here. They're not having that debate in Cincinnati with Billy Hamilton, who's primarily going to be used to pinch run.
1-2. Hill struck out his first 2 times, doubled in the 6th. 1 for 3. That's high. Chad Qualls up in the bullpen. Cue shot off the end of the bat. Murphy will field it, throw to Rizzo. And here is Juan Pierre.
Ladies and gentlemen, pinch hitting for Miami, number 9, Juan Pierre.
Mentioned last night, 5 straight years, all 3 with the Marlins the first time around, then as a Cub and a Dodger in his first year. He played every game.
No food up there.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do as a pitcher against Pierre. Get him to hit it in the air, and he flies out. 2 down. He's trying to hit it on the ground. Barney backing up, makes the play. Good job by Pedro Strop. I believe that was a 7-pitch inning. And the Cubs lead 8-7 as we go to the last of the 8th.
At CSNChicago.com. It's brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Veteran right-hander Chad Qualls, who came on and got a couple of outs in the 8th inning on Monday.
Yeah, he's done a nice job for the Marlins this year. Qualls has been around the big league scene for quite a while now. 4-2, 285. He too a sinker baller like Webb. Get a lot of ground balls. Bogusevic, since coming off the disabled list, really swinging the bat well.
Strike to the pinch hitter, Bogusevic. Good day for the long ball. The Cubs have connected 4 times, the Marlins twice. Oh, 0-2. Bogusevic batting for Strop. There's the closer, Kevin Gregg. And a base hit. Bogusevic on a 1-2.
His 41st at bat since coming off the DL. Prior to this swing of the bat, in that stretch, he was hitting 300, but 396 on base percentage, 650 slugging. Steal a bag for you, too.
Castro has hit the ball hard all day, except for his first at bat. He reached on an error, but then a home run lined to right and a hard ground ball to short.
Guy you can certainly play hit and run with because of his good contact skills. You can trust him to put the ball in play if it's around the plate. Think something might be up. They're going to keep a watchful eye on Bogusevic at first.
I was thinking earlier going into the series, should we try to find that video again of Qualls doing the fist pump falling?
Oh, yes.
He's probably been reminded of it enough.
That's a no. You can never see that too many times.
Could probably still YouTube it. Yeah, he was walking off the field and just an emphatic fist pump, and he ended up tumbling. Tripped over a blade of grass. Here's the 0-1. It's a strike.
I'd forgotten all about that.
The 0-2 in the dirt, blocked by Hill. Don't know how you feel about the hold stat. I'm not so sure I like it, but Qualls was the first pitcher ever to have 4 consecutive 20 hold seasons, 05 to 08.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that stat.
Runner goes. Castro down the right field line. Fair ball. Bogusevic stopped to make sure it got in. He's going to come around and he will score on a double.
A little insurance and a chance for even more with nobody out. Double number 30, a soft one. So Davis super slow-mo replay. Keeps the hands back. It's a good pitch by Qualls. Castro didn't hit the tar out of it by any means. We talked about those contact skills with Bogusevic in motion. It pays off. Quick look to find the ball for Bryant, and he scampers home. 2-run lead Cubs.
A 9 spot today.
Yeah, you're definitely in get him over, get him in mode.
Very defensive bunt there. That pitch way inside, and Barney bunted it foul.
It almost looked like he was thinking about trying to push the bunt to the right side and then had to react to the late movement.
Be a little too perfect that time. 0-2.
Yeah, ideally you like to get this ball down towards third base, but Castro runs well. Qualls, as we've noted, not the most nimble guy out there. Coughlin's new to the position. He's going to try to stay home anyway.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Rizzo. Be intentionally walked. Walking now for the 3rd time. The other 2 were unintentional. And Navarro, who's already knocked in 3, will hit with 2 more men on base. Low for a ball.
Battle of wills essentially here. Qualls has been around the league a long time. Navarro knows what Qualls is all about, trying to get that ground ball with the sinker. Gianner's trying to get something up in the air. The ball he can drive.
Right side. The throw goes to first. Come watch the Cubs as they take on the Brewers this Friday, September 6th at 1:20 here at Wrigley Field. Throughout the game, lucky seat winners will receive special prizes, compliments of Frito-Lay. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Second and third, 2 outs. Donnie Murphy, who gave the Cubs the lead with the 2-run homer in the 7th. Second lead of the afternoon. He'll bat here with 2 on.
Trying to get that sinker in on him, and Donnie cut it off. Got out in front of it, in the seats for his 9th home run.
Called strike. Qualls with the 0-1. Low and away. Astros beat the Twins with a run in the bottom of the 9th. 6-5. Trevor Crowe RBI single. Murphy went after a bad one. Three Blue Jays and Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 7th in Arizona.
A week or so ago, the Diamondbacks, there was some talk of them hanging in there, maybe making a run at the Reds for that second wild card spot, but they've lost 3 in a row. They're just a game above 500 now. And they're 8 games behind Cincinnati for the second wild card position coming into play today, running out of time. A chance that whole division, aside from the Dodgers, will finish below 500.
Yeah. Shelby Miller, Bronson Arroyo tonight in Cincinnati, Cardinals and Reds. Liriano Peralta, the pitchers in Milwaukee, Pirates and Brewers. Chest blocked by Coy Hill.
Twos are wild. Something good's going to happen.
Castro at third, Rizzo at second, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But the Cubs get an insurance run on the RBI double by Castro, plating Bogusevic. We'll go to the 9th, 9-7 Cubs.
Cubs postgame live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Cap and Holly will break down the game, give you their take on the action around the league. Cubs postgame live today, right after the game on Comcast Sports Net.
Here's Kevin Gregg, 5 letters in his surname. 3 of the 5, or 60% of them, are G's. I wouldn't say little known fact. It's pretty obvious if you look at it, but and he's got a 2-run lead.
You'd be good in bananagrams if you had to get rid of some G's.
Ball 1-2 Solano. Tripled and scored in the 7th, 1 out of 4. This will be the toughest part of the order here. He does have a 2-run cushion. Here's a pitch. 3-0.
Control has not been as sharp in the second half of the season as it was before the break. Overall, though, it's been a pretty sturdy year. Solid stuff from the big right-hander, and I guess that'd be a good word to describe him. Sturdy. Big, strong guy, mentally tough, always accountable when he does struggle.
He's been better on the road than at home. And you're right. I mean, his strikeouts to walks in the first half, 2.69 the ratio. In the second half, he's walked 15 and struck out just 10. I don't really know how to explain that, but just tell you that's what it is. So strike on Yelich. Here's the pitch outside, 1-1. Two and one. Marlins patient here, waiting him out to start the 9th. Really, Kevin's had one bad month. That was July. ERA of 5.79. But really good the rest of the time. 3-1. Stanton on deck.
Flying open a little bit and having a hard time. And, you know, Kevin's not a guy who can just hump up and throw it over the middle of the plate. I mean, typically he's pretty aggressive, but the key for him this year has been fastball command to both sides of the plate.
Three and two. Big pitch for him here. Got it. Looked like a cutter, didn't it?
You sure did. A little cutting action on that one, trying to get in on his hands a little bit. Didn't get it there, but he got the swing and miss.
Now Stanton, 2 out of 4 with 2 runs, and he takes a strike.
Stan with very good career numbers against the Cubs. He had a 9-game hitting streak against the Cubs snapped in the opener of this series. Hitting a couple of walks yesterday, 2 hits today.
Kevin has a sign. He's going to throw to first. Stanton held. It's 3-1. So he's gone to a 3-ball count on all 3 hitters here in the ninth.
It's certainly understandable with Stanton that he would be very careful as he's working that outside edge and beyond, hoping Stanton will expand to try to do something heroic. Maybe he did right there on 3-1. Normally you try to, in these situations, pitch away from a guy's power, but Stanton is so strong. Anything on the plate is his power. You can paint the outside corner, and he's capable of taking that and jerking it into the seats and left. Like Navarro had designs on going inside there after all that work away. Nope.
Ball 4 on a close one. Greg wanted that one. We see a reaction from him, but that time he did.
He made the pitch he wanted to make. Whether it was a strike or not, I'm not sure, but it was a good pitch, and Stanton showing tremendous patience laying off that one. That could have gone either way.
Comes Chris Bosio as Ruggiano will be the batter.
Back-to-back walks to Barney and Rizzo that set the Cubs up in the 7th for their big 4-run inning.
So first and second with 1 away, and the pitch to Justin Ruggiano is in. Oh, and 2. Two and 2. 20 pitches now for Greg here in the ninth.
Ruggiano also with home run power, and Greg cautious not to make a big mistake. But at some point you have to identify one of these guys that you're going to be a little more aggressive with. Walk here puts the go-ahead run on base.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Back to that cut fastball.
Morrison with 2 outs. Cubs leading 9-7. Breaking ball. Backdoor. 0-1. James Russell is going to get loose just in case. So pitch count starting to get up there for Greg.
Well, he's been really good against left-handed hitters.
Set at the belt. Now the 0-1 pitch. Wide, 1-1.
Kevin Gregg, I'm talking about. Lefty's hitting 168 against him. With an OPS of 530.
He's a strike away.
He can do so many different things to a left-handed hitter. Splitter down and away, backdoor the breaking ball, cutter in on the hands, and he also likes to throw that two-seam fastball that runs back to the inside corner.
Popped him up. This should do it. Castro will take it. Cubs win. They come back late. Beat up on the Marlins bullpen and salvage the finale. 9-7 the final.
Yeah, it was a long and arduous affair to say the least, but a big win for the Cubs to salvage one. It's awfully tough to have the Fish come in here struggling as they have been all year long and sweep a 3-game set in your own house. So nice win for the Cubs this afternoon.
4 big ones in the 7th, an add-on run in the 8th. And the Cubs now 3-3 on the homestand.
Yeah, a lot of heroes today. My goodness.
Yeah, you've got some choices. We're going to go with Deoner Navarro as our GMC player of the game.
He picked on that high fastball from the rookie Flynn. That was back in the 3rd inning. Solo home run gave the Cubs a 3-2 lead at the time. And then this thing of beauty down the left field line. Drive in 2 more in the 7th.
So Villanueva gets the win. Greg with his 29th save. And for JD and our entire crew, Glenn Casper saying so long from Wrigley Field. Your final, the Cubs 9, the Marlins 7. We're with you on Saturday, 2:30 for the pregame. First pitch just after 3. Brewers and Cubs here on CSN. We have more to come on Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live.